Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. If you are watching live tonight, welcome and please drop a comment and say hello. If you are watching the replay, I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope that you watched till the end and I hope you find something new, informative, entertaining. I'm pretty hilarious. Um, so hopefully you'll find something you can use here, and that's my goal every Monday night. So I am Nan Berlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here live on my Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me. I've got a fun, different kind of card for you tonight. It is not one of the Friday night stamping editions, so it's something completely different. Um, and speaking of which, I wanted to kind of take a poll of my audience here, and I'll be throwing some of these questions on my Instagram and on Facebook as well. So I won't just take it from this video, but I want you to start thinking about what kind of things would you like to see here on my lives? Do you like fun folds? Do you like different techniques? Do you want to just see multiple uses for a stamp set? Are you looking for color combinations? Like, what can I help you with here on my lives? So if you want to drop a comment here, that's fine. If you want to send me a message through Facebook or through Gmail, I am stampernan@gmail.com. I'm pretty much stampernan everywhere, so that's where you can find me. You can find me over on Instagram, same place. So anyway, you can get a message to me. Go ahead and let me see what kind of things you would like to see here on my lives. Hello, Penny. Good evening and a happy Monday to you now that work day is over, right? Done with my day job, here comes my yay job. Love the fun folds. Okay, and we're kind of doing a fun folds tonight. Techniques. Hi, Lucia. So glad to see you. As you know, I watched your live at lunchtime today, so that was fun. All righty. Well, let me point the camera down here, and you'll see what I've got for you tonight. I have a shaped card. I actually forgot to do the inside on my, forgot to cut one for my other sample too. So we'll just pretend, we'll pretend there's another little one right in there with something fun stamped on it. So, but I'm going to show you how to do this tonight. And I've got a couple of other different shapes, different sizes to show you at the end so you can see exactly kind of the possibilities of this type of technique. Betty enjoys seeing how the winning cards are made. So, okay. Speaking of, thank you for pointing that out, Betty. Good segue. It's like I planted you and I didn't. I do have my winning Friday night card here. Super fun. And it all started with this bunny. I saw another sample that had his jacket paper pieced, and I loved the idea. So that's what I started with. That's where the whole card evolved from. And this little piece here, so I stamped the bunny on white. Then I stamped him again on this pattern paper, which comes from the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper pack. And just cut out his jacket. And then I cut him all, like I hand cut that, I fussy cut him. So, but I wanted him to be kind of on that circle. So that's what I went with. So, but this is a super easy little thing to cut out, and it gives his jacket this multicolor effect. So I cut out quite a few actually to see which one I liked best, but I really liked this kind of little rainbow stripe. So, because after a rain, there's a rainbow, right? So kind of cute. And I just added some color to his ears and nose and a little bit to the puddle, and that was it. So I also want to tell you how I did the background here. This is one of the basics 3D embossing folders that are available in the online exclusives. So if you visit my shop, which there's a link in the video description, you'll see the online exclusives, and there is a pack of 3 embossing folders. This is one of them. It's just polka spots, as we call them in our house. And all I did was run the cardstock through there, and then I took my Misty Moonlight pad and I just very lightly ran it over there so it only hit the raised dots. Yeah, you can see that they're raised. There we go. So yeah, the Misty Moonlight only hit them, and as you can see, it hit them very unevenly, which is, I just wanted to give it that effect of rain. So there you go. Some tips for you, some bonus tips tonight. But yeah, I do love to do paper piecing every once in a while when you have an image that normally you would color in. It's especially fun to just grab a pattern paper and stamp it on there and cut out a piece or pieces. Girls in dresses, I used to love to do that for. Take a pattern piece that looks kind of like pattern fabric and cut the dress out of that. So, but tonight we are going to do this. I'm going to show off a couple, because now I can show you the inside of the catalog since it's live. I want to show you a couple of other things just to point out. I'm not walking through the whole thing. Don't worry. Don't change your channel. But first, I wanted to point out this gorgeous designer paper. It is called A Walk in the Forest. And every year at this time, Stampin' Up! Comes out with a product. It's their Making a Difference product. And part of the proceeds of the sale of each of these products each year goes towards a different organization. So this year, $3 from the purchase of this paper pack goes towards organizations, let's see, that are dedicated to spreading cheer and providing support for those in need. And this year in the US, they have picked the Marine Toys for Tots organization. So if you're familiar with that, or hey, even if you're not, go look them up. They're a great organization. So this pattern paper, which as you can see is fabulous, great for Christmas crafting or any holiday crafting, I guess. Some really fun just patterns on the back. So $3 from the purchase of each of those packs goes towards Toys for Tots in the US. All right, another one. Last week in my newsletter, so if you subscribe to my newsletter, you know about this. I sent out a Stamper Nan's favorites from the mini catalog, and my favorite bundle was this Sparkling Snowflakes bundle. And the reason it was my favorite bundle is because of this punch. There we go. How cool is that? I make my gift tags. Actually, Stamper Man sometimes helps as well. Sometimes he doesn't. It just depends on who has time. But each year I make the tags for our Christmas presents because I can, and it's fun, and it's just a little thing I like to do. So, but how cool is that tag topper punch? And then it'll coordinate with all these snowflakes. So definitely landed on my favorites list. Another thing that landed, I believe, yes, on my favorites list were these glow-in-the-dark bats and ghosts. Yes, glow-in-the-dark, people. And there's coordinating glow-in-the-dark paper that's 12 by 12, right? No, sorry, 6 by 6. So you can die cut anything you want and have it be glow-in-the-dark. So think about adding those to your cell phone case, to your windows, to your mirrors, like a really easy, fun way to decorate, even if you don't make cards. Like super fun little item there. Let's see what else I've marked here. I think this was on the other side. Yes. Yes. So another thing that's going on right now is part of the online exclusives offering is last week they released 5 new designer series paper packs that are only available online, so you won't see them in the catalog. But if you look at this one right here, you'll notice it coordinates with the translucent floral stamp set that's in the mini catalog. So you can get paper to match your floral stamp set, which is gorgeous. I have used it. Penny will verify. Gorgeous, gorgeous stamp set. So, and lots of other, obviously 5 different paper packs. This tartan one is gorgeous and really good for like masculine type cards. And then we've got the set that we're using tonight because y'all know we love a cute critter. So we picked out the Festive and Fun stamp set. And you've got a couple of other great samples in the catalog for how to use that. I mean, like gift bags. Don't forget your gift bags this time of year. Yes, the translucent florals. I know you love that set. It is so pretty, doggone it. So, all right, without further ado, let's get to our fun shaped card. And this is one of those techniques that comes along every once in a while. I remember it. I learned very early on in my stamping, 20 years ago, and I forget about it. And then all of a sudden I'll see one, or this one, I saw the deckled circle dies, which are also in the mini catalog and very easy to overlook, I think. So, I mean, look at all of these dies. What is it, like 14 of them or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? Yeah, 14 nested circles. So awesome. Like you get a lot of bang for your buck on this one. So I saw these and we got them right away because we've been dying for circle dies ever since they retired some of our other ones. And then I went, oh, circle cards. That's fun. So let us start. You know what? Let's just start. You can see that I already die cut my other 2 layers because you're going to watch me die cut 1. You don't need to watch me die cut 3. But for this particular card, I used the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th circles. You could obviously use the largest if you wanted, but I started with the 2nd. So for this, with the 2nd card there, this is 5.5 by 11. And it is scored at 5.5. So that's the important part when you're doing a shaped card. You need something that's obviously going to be big enough to fit your shape, just slightly shorter, I guess, right? The next thing you want to make sure of is when you're putting your shape on, this is the fold side, you want to make sure that part of your cut line is hanging over the edge so it doesn't cut that. So it leaves you that little connector, right? That fold line. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down so it doesn't move on me. And very often when I'm taping something down and I want to make sure that it's either, because sometimes I'm using a scrap of cardstock and I want to make sure that it's either not going over the edge, or in this case that it is, I'll flip it over again and make sure. I need to move that up just a smidge because I want a little bit more of a fold. Okay. I absolutely love round cards, Betty. I mean, it's so unexpected. And in this one, you would obviously need a special envelope. It's not going to go in our regular size envelopes. If you picked one of the smaller circles, you could totally make it fit in our regular envelopes. But I wanted the giraffe to fit. So, you know, I had to allow for that. So this is the type of card that would be great if you were, I don't know, maybe you had Secret Santas at work and you were going to hand deliver it. So it didn't really need an envelope, right? Okay. So we are going through 2 layers of cardstock with this because I've got that folded over. We're just going to run it through. Should have brought my cart over so I didn't have to lean so far. I don't like to be off camera. I don't want to leave you guys alone. I want you getting lonely. And if you're new here, this is Post-it tape that I'm using. We use it on the die cut machine all the time. It's great because it's just like a roll of tape, but it's Post-its. And so you can just tear off exactly how much you want. And I just kind of leave a couple sitting on my machines. Okay, so now you've got that circle card and you haven't cut the fold in that little spot, so it's got a nice hinge for it. And that part is done. So let's get to do some stamping. So this set, of course, because Russ and I both love to color, we liked this set as well. Cute critters, coloring, all the good stuff we love. Let me really quickly, forgot to plug in my phone. I don't want to be going dead while I'm in the middle of this. Okay, so because we're going to be coloring with Stampin' Blends, we're going to use our Memento black ink. And we've got a block that's big enough for our giraffe because he's a tall guy and that's why he's putting the star on the tree, right? You want to have a giraffe or an abominable snowman, right? A bumble. Oh, Lucia, you definitely need these dies. I'm telling you, if you're a stamper, you need these dies. That's all there is to it. It's great. And I will show you an added little bonus at the end, too, with these dies. Whoops. Missed a little part in the middle there. There we go. Okay. So we'll just, wherever he fits. Voila. You guys so impressed with my French? Took like 4 years of it. I can speak, I don't know, 8 words. It's pretty pathetic. I was so self-conscious about speaking French when I was actually taking French that I spoke it very rarely. So I will say that when we see, like, maybe you see something that has subtitles or it's written in French, I can pick out words still. So some of the, I can pick out a gist of things sometimes. But yeah, I don't know why they haven't made it into your cart either, Lucia, because you've gotten quite a few cute things from that mini, but those are things that I haven't gotten in my cart. So too bad we don't live closer. We could share. All right. And then they've got this cute little birdie. So he's helping to decorate the tree. He's probably not really much help, although he could fly maybe, right? Then I used the Real Red ink to put my sentiment on. And I like this. It's just, may your season be one that's festive and fun. But I liked it because it's tall like the giraffe, so it fits the aesthetic of my card very well. Okay, so another little tip I like to give. So if you're new here, or if you just were falling asleep when I was doing this before, I line up my block with the grid lines on my paper because you can't see through these stamps, and I want to make sure I stamp it straight. And then looking through from the top, I will line up one of the words with another grid line. So probably not absolutely perfect, but it's, close enough for jazz, right? Actually, it's even closer than jazz. And I will say I'm going to step this card up a little bit tonight, too. So now when I go to stamp it, I will also line the block up with a grid line so that I know that it is straight. And voila, more French. Oh, the birdie can carry the cranberry garland. I like that, Penny. Do you think he would eat it, though? And maybe cranberries might be too heavy, but popcorn garland, that would probably work. We've got some possibilities for that little guy. He's super cute. I probably should have had one of these colored ahead of time so you didn't have to worry about watching me, but we'll chat while I'm coloring. So I'm using Real Red cardstock. I do not have Real Red blends, amazingly. Don't we all snack on the check? Okay, now I need to take a poll. How many of you snack on the decorations while you're making things like popcorn banners and things like that? I am not a huge popcorn banner fan. I am not a cold popcorn person, really. I don't know. What about you all? Will you eat popcorn no matter what, or does it have to be warm? I really love warm popcorn. But anyway, I don't have the Real Red blend, so I'm using Poppy Parade, and it's going to look just fine. So, remember, you can use things that are close. All right, so we're going to use the dark one, I think, for the ornaments. La, 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 la. Your singing stamper. Another thing I decided when I was making this card was I did not want to complicate it with a lot of different colors. So I didn't want like all the ornaments to be a different color. You absolutely could do that, but I wanted to keep this kind of simple. All right. Penny says there's always room for popcorn, any kind. This may be an unpopular opinion, but coming from the Chicagoland area, I don't really care about Garrett's popcorn. I know, don't unfollow me. That just means there's plenty more for you, okay? But yeah, I'm not like a caramel corn. I don't do the cheese popcorn really, so I'm just like whatever. I can nibble a couple of pieces. Blasphemy! I knew somebody was going to yell at me for that. See, Lucia, Now, snacking while making Christmas goodies, absolutely. I forgot my little holly berries here. So yes, and I love to bake. So like if I were baking cookies, I'd be nibbling on dough or things like that. We make special K bars, which I have seen in the stores. They're called Scotcheroos. So it's similar, but I have a feeling my recipe is slightly different. um, I have a feeling my recipe is slightly different, but it's pretty close. So it's that kind of thing. Oh my goodness. So the topping is like butterscotch and chocolate chips melted together. I lick that bowl clean when I'm done topping those things. They are so good. So yeah, I'm totally about snacking. I don't know, I'm more of a sweet person than a salty person, although there's certain salty snacks that I'm like, yes, give me all of them. But yeah, I tend to gravitate toward the sweets. So maybe that's the difference too. I actually had a coworker at my last job who makes his own caramel corn, and Russ is like, it's the best he's ever had, and he keeps asking when we're going to see Larry again. So there's that. So I guess maybe we're going to have to get together with Larry soon. So I've got the lemon lime twist markers going here, and you'll also notice that I'm not really shading anything. I'm just coloring. So even though I'm using the blends, which are made to, blend, I'm just coloring. And I probably should have done the green first and then done the ornaments last, because that the ornament is a darker color, and then it would have been more foolproof, so if I made a mistake. Time for morning tea. What time is it where you are right now, Lucia? I think it's like a 15-hour difference or something. For those of you new in the audience, Lucia is from Australia. So so there you go, folks. I miss Larry. Larry, by the way, is a fabulous baker. We were always teasing him like, man, you should be on the Bake Off. He was just like always bringing in baked goods, and they were always yummy. It was amazing. So, all right. So I've added some lemon lime twist to our tree, of course, our holly leaves, a little bow, the bird's accoutrement. See? French. I know some things. His accessories. Okay. 10:22 a.m. where Lucia is, and it is 7:22 p.m. where I am the day before. So there's that. Okay, and then we pulled lemon lolly out because I didn't want it to be too dark of a yellow. Like I didn't want a crushed curry or anything. I guess I wanted something a little lighter. So I'm going to use the dark lemon lolly for the star. We're going to use the light lemon lolly for the giraffe, just to give it a little bit of a difference. I'm going to go around those spots, even though we're going to color them in with something darker. And I'm changing that up as well, because on my original sample, I grabbed my Cajun Craze Stampin' Blend, but tonight I'm going to use some of the, are they neutrals? Are they naturals? I think they're called. So all the browns and skin tones and stuff. Yes, Monday is, you are on to Tuesday. Boy, I could have used being on to Tuesday earlier today. Okay, so what I've got here is, so on the sides it says SU 400 and SU 600, but what they actually are is, so the 400 is part of the medium deep pair, and the 600 is part of the medium pair. So you could totally use both of the medium deeps and just use a light and dark, whatever. Oh, the fairy bread. I was like, what? What are you talking about, fairy bread? Yes. So, Betty, okay. I have to explain to those of you in the comments. Lucia, as I said, is in Australia, and she had posted something on her page about what sweets or what snacks or whatever you preferred. I don't know if they're all sweets because I didn't really know most of them. I had heard of Tim Tams, but there was something called fairy bread on the list. So there were all these, I mean, literally, I had no idea what any of them were, but Lucia picked her three and said that, yes, she likes chocolate. That's why she picked them. So I went, well, those are probably the three that I want too then. But fairy bread was one of them. So I'll have to actually go back to that post and look up what all those are. The Tim Tams I've heard of because of Stampin' Up! People who have gone to events in Australia have talked about Tim Tams, and I think they've brought them back. So, oh, here's a bit of education for us, for we Americans. Fairy bread is a buttered bread with hundreds and thousands on it, like sugar. Some of the foods were savory. Okay. And Penny says her grandma called it sugar bread. Now that's funny because, okay, hundreds and thousands of sprinkles on it. Yeah. My mom used to make us sugar sandwiches. So maybe I've had the American version of this. Sometimes we would ask for a sugar sandwich for lunch. And my mom would ask us white sugar or brown sugar, and we would pick one, and she would literally take white bread and butter it and either cover it with white sugar or brown sugar and then put another piece of bread on it, and we would eat that for lunch as children. I'm still trying to wrap my adult head around that one. Okay, so I am taking the darker brown tone that I've got here and just coloring like the side and the handle of that basket, and then the tree pot. As I said, I didn't want to go crazy with too many colors. And then I'm taking the lighter one, and we'll take that and do the tree trunk and the front of that little ornament basket box, whatever it is. All right, so there's our coloring all done. Awesome on that. So now you might say, how are you going to step this up? Oh, yeah, I'm adding a fork bow, people. Oh my gosh, Penny, your grandma made them open face. Gotcha. Yeah, no, apparently, the more white bread you could get into a kid, the better at my house. I don't know. So goofy. Okay, so I've got my, what is this? The ribbon duo combo. So there's a petal pink ribbon and there's a lemon lime twist ribbon in here. So we're going to take the lemon lime twist. We're going to make a pretty little fork bow. So slowly again, we come from the right-hand side over. We circle around. We're going to come out on top of that piece. And then we're going to go down through this middle tine, but we're going to go underneath everything. Okay. So as my friend Jamie, who teaches this one all the time, she says, over the river and through the woods. So you're going to come out below, hold on to this end, and then you're going to take this guy up and over. Okay. Flip your fork over, tie a knot. That's it. And I'm telling you, people, you really just need to just take a spool of ribbon in front of the TV one night and just tie like 40 fork bows. And you're going to be like, oh, I got this. I know what I'm doing now. The cool thing about fork bows is, first of all, your loops are the exact same length because you're going through the middle tine. So those loops are equidistant from the middle. Equidistance. There you go. Word of the day, toilet paper, everyone. But the other thing that's cool is it doesn't untie because you've tied a knot in it. So you can misshape it, trust me, if you really want to yank on it, but it's not going to accidentally come untied, which is awesome. So then I'm going to lay it that way and say, okay, I need a little bit, like about that much. That's why I keep it on the spool beforehand so that I can cut it off at exactly the length I need instead of wasting any ribbon, right? Oh my gosh, Okay, everybody, stamp for the penny. She tied a perfect one. She has been talking about the fork bow for a while, so I challenged her to do it. Yes, Betty, my favorite stamping tool some days is my salad fork, my huge kitchen fork that I have commandeered, and it does live in my craft studio. It never makes it back to the kitchen. Doesn't matter how much the stamper man would like it to, it's not going. So I'm going to put this along the side here. And as y'all probably know, I like to use my tear and tape to adhere ribbon so that you get an adhesive on one side that's holding the ribbon down and a strong adhesive on the other side that's holding it to the card base or the next layer. So because this one's a little weird because it's circle, I'm going to have to hold on to it to keep it in place. Okay, let's pop that on there. And then we'll pop this on here. Okay. So now we can use our regular Stampin' Seal, add some more adhesive to this. Okay. Grab our Take Your Pick, which really is my favorite stamping tool. But it's perfect for getting the backings off of this tear and tape. Sometimes, like, I have nails today, so I probably could do it, but why when I have the perfect tool to help me? All righty. So now we will put this onto our lemon lime twist layer. And you can mess with this bow. I kind of want it to be more up and down, so I can just pull it that way and it'll stay very nicely for me. And then we will pop a little more adhesive on this layer. Oops. There we go. You know, it's a circle card. It's a weird size. I don't know how much adhesive to use. Just use how much you think is right. What is it? A Mucho Gusto or something? I don't know. Some guy that teaches cooking on one of the channels says just the right amount. That's what the Italians say. So, okay. And to top it off, we're going to use my new favorites, my Neutrals adhesive backed sequins. And you know, we're going to use these fun chocolatey brown ones. So those are my favorite as well, aside from the copper. But they're going to match his brown spots. So that's why we're using them. So again, my Take Your Pick tool comes out. We've got one over there. And we're going to put two smaller ones over this way to form that nice little triangle. And voila, we are done with tonight's card, which is a little bit of a step up. What do you think? Mucho gusto makes me happy. Okay. I think it's like gusto. I don't know. It's the perfect amount is what it translates to. So yes, so I was very happy with this. And the whole reason I made this card and the reason it was kind of simple actually is because I had a Stampin' Up! Zoom meeting last week. And at the last minute, I remembered, oh, they said to bring a swap card, especially if you had it from the new mini catalog. Well, this is what I had. So I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to make a circle card. So I whipped it up like 10 minutes before the meeting. So now I told you there was an added bonus to the fact that these are deckled because they're not a perfect circle, right? This guy will stand up and he won't fall over. So you can put him on a mantle or whatever. So another little bonus. Now I also told you I had more to show you. Thank you so much, Latia and Penny. I told you I had more to show you. So you can do this with any kind of die. So I took our Nested Essentials and I made a cute little happy birthday. Again, you just want to measure your die and you need a card base that's twice that length. Fold it in half and then quanta basta. There you go. So Russ is telling me. Thank you, Russ, because he watches this show. So quanta basta. The perfect amount. Okay. So yes, I've got a little Nested Essentials birthday card with that same fun, that's that same paper I used on my bunny, except a different design. And then I made a couple of cute little tags, which you know you will need this season. So I took our, what's it called? Something fancy dies. And I made two cute little gift tags with our layering leaves set. So these can be tied onto packages or onto gift bags, and super easy to do. But that way you can decorate the whole front and you still have a place to write a little message or just the person's name or whatever. So you could totally do this with your Christmas packaging, all that kind of thing. So this is another great way to make your own tags. So those are my extras I have for you tonight. All righty, thanks, Benny. Okay. Hi there. So I hope you learned something new today. I hope that you're going to give this a try. Just go rummage through your dies and see what'll work for a tag or a card or whatever. That happy birthday one could easily slip into an envelope. This is especially great if you have somebody that you're like, I don't know them that well. I don't know what to write. It's not like we have a bunch of shared history. That's totally a cool birthday card that they're not going to get the same one of. And you don't have to write a lot. And it'll fit in an envelope. So that's just another little tip from me. If you don't know what to write to somebody, then make your card smaller or decorate the inside with a lot of stuff so you don't have a lot of room to write. So yeah, so that's my little tips for shaped cards. Super fun. Take a look through your dies and see what will work for you. I'm so glad you joined us, Lucia. I'm glad we could start your day that way. And now you're probably off to snack on some Tim Tams or some fairy bread. Okay, so if you learned something new today, I would love for you to share the video so that your friends and family can learn as well. Until next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.